right, and would the youngest person, please?
The youngest person will lead us in the pledge. The youngest person.
Okay, so.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, before we get started, I want to remind everybody about this Friday, the 28th, at 11 p.m. at the community room.
AM.
And we'll, AM, sorry. Sorry,
late.
Paul. I tried not to do it, Paul, again, but see,
See, you dip a PM again.
to discuss taking the money out of that trust fund. And then we have to have a public hearing for that. All right.
Ooh.
All right, any, one public, was I wrong?
Bruce Gross?
Well, no. Do I need to go to this? Because I can't.
That's all right. Doesn't matter. What is he giving?
At 11 a.m., I'm working.
On a
Sick
Saturday?
day.
On a Friday? Friday. Take a sick.
Take a
I
sick day.
can't.
How much be left?
I'm the only one secretary there.
Should be left in the trust fund at
There's
that.
two of us usually.
Oh, no.
155,000.
Yeah.
I'm still calculating whether we need it or not. Hopefully I'll have an answer tomorrow.
Now, was Chief Prowse coming in tonight?
Thought so.
Was he?
He's the one that set it up. He asked us to put it on
Somebody called 911?
I thought maybe he was just sending us in the
We gotta
memorandum.
get
No,
it
we
signed.
already have it.
Okay.
So,
I think you pulled somebody over right after, no.
there you go. So, do we wanna hold off on
Let's
that?
move it on.
Table it for now, in case he comes? Nobody wants to-
Yeah, we'll just put it right in.
Okay, moving on. That's not organized here. Going to the minutes for public, June 12th.
I will make a motion to accept the June 12th public minutes with the corrections that have already been sent.
I'll second that.
Thank you.
Oh.
Sorry, break me up.
Anybody else? Any corrections? All set. Paul?
Aye.
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 I can't.
Oh, Melissa
I have
has
to abstain.
No good, okay. That's
Yes, you do. Abstain, yep.
these little- Sorry.
I read them.
All right.
the meeting.
Oh, comes the chief. We'll come right back to you, chief.
No problem.
All right. June 12th, non-public minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the non-public, and I don't believe there were any corrections.
I'll second.
made.
Again, thank you.
Back into it now. All right.
The PP group.
Where, anybody else have any
Strange when you
corrections?
want to be called.
Paul?
Aye.
Aye.
Oh, abstain, sorry.
Aye. Aye.
4, okay. Okay, that's done. Right here. All right. Okay, all right. Chief Prowse, you're up. We got your memorandum in front of us.
All right.
Did
We
you?
have the memorandum of understanding.
Yes, we do. You want to see a copy?
Is it in our packets again?
No, it's not.
No.
Then I
Okay,
don't
so it's
have
from
it.
last time.
Yeah, we need
It's very
corrections.
well written.
So that's, it was time for us to update it. We hadn't updated it apparently since I have been chief. So we did not have the signatures for the new board or since I had been chief. So I talked to all of the school administration and we all sat down, went through it, made the changes that needed to be made, updated a couple of forms, and now it has to be back in front of the board for you to sign it and for me to sign.
Okay, can I get a motion from the board for me to sign it?
That was different from the one that we had last month, though. I haven't seen this one, have I?
Yes, you have. It's the same one.
Same one.
Oh, okay, I thought that was.
Grammatical errors. Remember, no disturb, but it should have been not disturbed at the very end.
Pardon? Don't disturb me? Okay.
No.
I'll go back to sleep, no problem. But that was the 40-page one that was
No,
the
it's this-
discipline and
you wanna see
everything
it?
else.
I'll pass it down. Anybody else want to see
Sorry.
what I'm signing?
Okay, I did see it. I did like it. I'll make a motion to approve it
Allow the chairman to sign it.
and have the chairman sign it.
Do I have a second?
Yep. Oh, go ahead.
I'll second.
All right. Ed?
Aye.
Emma?
Aye.
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 Okay. School board chair. All right. There's this one. Pass it to her. He needs to sign it and then get the cheaper copy. Sorry, Earl.
Need notarized? I got my notary.
Thank you.
Don't think it needs to be noted. It does have a copy of the form in it, right? Yeah, so we just changed the form a little bit, the police reporting form.
Okay.
I don't know if they explained, did you, Earl, explain
Yeah.
that to them?
What we did was the chief had ensured that the whole school district was doing the same thing. So we adjusted the MES form to the Newt form.
Yeah, we had already adjusted the new form to make it a little easier for new, because we were getting a memo from them as well, explaining everything in detail. Plus, we needed the front page form for stuff that they didn't need to give us a huge amount of detail on. So we asked MES to just do the same form, so that way it was easy for both schools. Same document, we could put it in the memorandum of understanding. Everybody, if you bring in new administration or new administration goes through, they already know what they're getting once they get the packet, what they have to fill out.
So I'll make a motion that we adopt this new form, administration-wide.
Second?
Do I have any more discussion?
Aye.
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 Okay. Just gotta sign the other one for you.
I just need a photocopy of the original. I
Well,
don't
is
need
there a copy for
formal
him?
signatures of everything.
There should be two there.
Yeah, we'll give him,
Yeah.
we're gonna need his signature on the other one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll give him one.
like I said, I don't need the original, you guys need to keep the original up at the SAU, and then
I guess we're
I'll
gonna
have
give
a
you
photocopy of
a
it.
signed copy then.
Yeah, there's two there, so he'll get one as well.
Yeah, just photocopy the one we just signed. and give it to him.
There's two of them.
There's two.
So they're just sending two.
You can have your own original if you really like it.
You're getting the
Nobody pays
real
attention.
I
thing.
don't think we can get the copy machine in there.
No, you can't.
Oh, it's on second.
Yeah.
Town computer.
It's for her.
Earl.
So I'll give him this one,
Okay, and I'll give this one to Nate.
and you give
Pass
that
it
one to
Nate,
Nate.
please.
Here, Chief,
go, Nate.
you can have this one.
Don't lose it, Nate.
Oh, nice. It's on my mind.
That was
That
a
was
long
the
time ago.
first thing.
The other thing I asked to be on the agenda for was parking and the travel up at the elementary school. But I went and spoke to the principal of the elementary school and found that he wasn't going to be here at tonight's meeting. So without him being here to have his input, and I don't see him here, so without their input,
Okay, team's in Florida.
Good, Doug. So, at our next facilities meeting
which is
when-
the 15th, right?
of July, it's July, yeah,
Seven-
we're actually gonna have our facility meeting at the elementary school to discuss parking, line spacing, all that stuff. I don't know if that's something you could attend with us, or,
What time is it?
well, it's always at 5, yeah, it's at 5 o'clock,
5 o'clock.
I think the 17th, though.
Hmm?
17th
I
is
think it's the
Wednesday.
17th.
Yeah.
17th.
Yeah, I don't have my,
Phone?
Because there's only one meeting in July, right?
correct.
So that's the one that's gonna be on, yeah.
17th.
July 17th, yep. We're
we
gonna meet
can-
up there at 5, we're gonna go over traffic patterns and parking spots and all that stuff.
And we'll have him there as well.
Minutes for now.
I mean, if you can make it.
Yep.
you know.
Yeah, so that was, the only other reason I wanted to be on the meeting agenda was for that, to talk about possibly changing the traffic pattern for both drop-off of parents and drop-off for the bus locations.
That's a good idea.
And speaking to the principal, probably gonna change my mind on what he has found, because I did ask him to do a parent and car count in the morning and afternoon. And it looks like it averages about 55 people dropping off in the morning and 35 people picking up in the afternoon
At the kindergarten entrance?
at the kindergarten entrance. So we are gonna ask for a couple of signs to be moved so they're more visible. That'll hopefully correct a couple of the problems. And I am gonna be working with the Board of Selectmen to try and change some of the parking ordinances to add in some more ordinance control in that area on the actual roads for School Street and Silver Street, School Street and Steeple Street, excuse me. But the parking pattern, we can talk about that then, I do think needs to change a little bit, both inside the parking lot of MES.
So will we be taking consideration of the empty cars left out in front of the kindergarten that are left there?
That was one thing that I wanted, that's why I asked for a car count,
Yeah.
based on the traffic pattern on the way I wanted to see you guys change it. And that's why I wanted a car count to see how many cars we would be able to put in the different locations and how many cars would still be sticking out into the road and different things like that.
Okay. Anybody else have any other questions, Mike? My plan is, and I want to talk to the board about it tonight, I'd like to have all the administrators at the next meeting in order to, all of them, to talk about the default budget, because I think we need to, as a board, to be cognizant of our spending this coming year, so I'll talk to them after about that. So, might be a good,
Just as an update for this board, I talked to the Board of Selectmen at the last Selectmen's meeting and asked them about the SRO position. They've advised me they want me to put the SRO as a warrant article this year and not in my budget. So I will be putting the warrant article out for next year's vote in March for a 6-month SRO position to start July of 2020.
yeah, I was informed by Andy last night about that. Thank you. Do you have anything
Just wanted
else?
to give you guys a heads up that we're not just dissolving the idea of the SRO. We're just gonna go after it as a warrant article instead of having it directly in the budget this year.
I'd like to commend, Chief has been extraordinary, and I hope that everybody supports the SRO and the work that was done at Newt in terms of the cars and the traffic. He did a great job with that, and we're looking to do the same thing at MES. So,
Yeah, the traffic issues over at Newt have decreased dramatically.
But we're still having a problem there, because the other day I was going out
Mm.
and somebody was coming in.
But we still have one or two that still think it's okay to drive through the do not enter and go the wrong way. But one or two is a whole lot better than
I understand.
the 30, 45 minutes my officers are sitting there and
Yeah.
can stop 10 or 15 people driving into the do not enter. So,
I wished we'd put the other signs up. I didn't realize we were putting those signs up.
what signs? The do not enter signs?
Yeah, the white and the red ones would have been I think more visible.
It's still plenty visible. Those signs are
I know.
huge. You can't say you missed the sign. There's one on each side of the driveway.
And you gotta stop right there too.
Yeah.
Oh, Todd, what about those strips that you put the wrong way?
No
Oh my
spike strips.
God, come
No spike strips.
on. That'll take care of it.
You want to buy somebody's tire when they back up over it
Yeah.
accidentally because you're yelling at them to come back to get their kid?
True. Peg will do it, she'll buy it.
Okay. I'm a retired teacher, I'm very wealthy.
You don't want to buy anybody's tire.
Is that it for everybody?
Did you have a question about the SRO? You look like you were ready to
my
ask
only
me a question.
My concern with the SRO on a warrant article is we get funding for a year, trying to get someone to come in for a 6, without having it in your regular budget. okay, we want to hire somebody for a 6-month position, we can't guarantee you we're gonna give you another year. It's gonna be difficult.
Well, the way we would write it into the warrant article is that it would, if that position is created, it would go into the budget.
Okay.
So it'd be the same as the warrant article we wrote in 2014 for the pay changes and the salary changes for the officers, is that went into the budget after that. So it'd be written the same way.
Okay.
So that the next year, it would, basically, that position would turn into a default position.
Okay. 'Cause I'm just thinking of trying to entice someone to come in and then stay.
Yep. No, we would write that in, that would be written into the warrant article, so all residents know that once this person is hired for those 6 months, once 2021 starts, the position falls into 2021 default budget.
Peg?
If I remember correctly too, it was going to be the school, but then they'd actually be a regular police officer the rest of the time, and they weren't doing the school, or are you just talking?
No, they're still going to do the same thing. They're going to be in the school 75% of the time, and then during breaks and summer vacations, they'll
Okay,
be
yeah, that's right, right,
available to
okay,
the police department.
okay, good,
No,
thank
it's
you.
still going to fall the same way.
Okay.
It's just easier if we fund it. It's funded through the town's taxpayers anyways, so it's all funded, whether it comes out of the school budget or it comes out of the police department's budget, it's all funded out of the same taxpayers' dollars. So it's easier for me to manage it and me to control where the money's going, how much overtime the person's using, if it's just in my budget, instead of putting it in my budget and then asking the school board to say, you need to raise 75%, we're gonna raise 25%, so you have to budget for 75, we're gonna budget for 25. They're gonna do the numbers, and then they're gonna send you a bill for 75%. And when the budget committee looks at the numbers, they're gonna show a negative for my line because I'm overdrawing that line until you pay back your 75%. It's just gonna cause a giant headache for all of the residents who wanna look at those numbers and try to figure out where we are budget-wise. It's easier if it's just in my budget and it rolls out nice and easy. They can see where the money's being spent and how it's being spent, instead of pulling it from two different lines.
That's fine.
But we're still gonna do the same thing. It'll be 75%, the officer will be used at the school, and then the 25% during the summer months, basically, he or she will be used for road patrol. So
Anybody
we'll just
else?
have to work out- We'll have to work out another memorandum of understanding as to how the SRO is gonna be used and what expectations between the police department and the school that the SRO will be used for.
Thank you, Chief.
No problem.
Thank you
you.
very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, I have another comment. I want the board to know that I went down to the,
Is that for him?
no, I'm sorry. No.
Said you had another comment.
Well, I went down and saved our dates here for this room with the Morale, the new lady that took Mrs. Smith's place. So our dates have been saved on the
Thank you very
calendar.
much.
Good night.
The Wednesdays,
Okay.
but not when we do the budgets and stuff. That is something different. Okay. Earl, you're up.
I'd like to thank the students and the parents that came in the last time we met. It was outstanding. I had asked them if they would come in. I was in all of the rooms, and I couldn't believe it was fantastic that they all came. It was really fantastic, and that I look forward as next year comes, I'll be back in the classrooms again and hopefully get the kids to come here. We'll go through all of the grades, first grade, second grade, third grade. I think it's important that we celebrate the student success. We're here for the students, with the students, and it's just fantastic. I'd like to thank all of the board that had come to the end of year things. We had a hectic 2 weeks with 9 o'clock in the morning with kindergartners and 5th grade luncheon. And 12th graders ran through the hallways of MES. And and the 8th grade commencement was fantastic. And then the 12th grade commencement was fantastic. And it's just a great time at the end of the year to celebrate the successes of the students. And That's what it's all about. I have some information here. The political process is such. They're talking through the state about the possibility of there being more funds, and you know how the political process works, and they're talking about current law. The main thing is the fact that it's based on now is the taxes upon everyone's home, and it really puts everything in a precarious position. And what they're doing is they're looking at free and reduced lunch, things like that. And if you look down Milton, based upon what they finally come up with, again, you see the big thing, draft. So hopefully, as the computation is now, if anything does reach fruition, we're heading toward it looking improved for us, but there's absolutely no guarantee. So I just wanted to give you the most current update that I just received from the state in the last day or two. So this is a draft, and they're looking at what, if you look at Milton there, and it's far from home. You know, it's you know, we're far away from seeing anything at all. But at least, hopefully, some little good news will be on the horizon, both for the school district and for the taxpayers.
Anybody have any questions for him? Peg?
Can I just, because I was AFT, and I don't know if he still is president of New Hampshire AFT, but he's still representative or a senator. But he sends me updates, and I've been getting a couple write Governor Sununu to pass
Yeah.
the budget, because all the towns need the money. So, anyway, just pass that on so everybody can call.
I'm looking at these numbers, right, and I'm looking at Milton has a budget of, where is it here? For fiscal year 2020, right? $3,485,141. That's our school budget this year? I mean, for 2020, correct?
Nate?
School
That's
budget?
anticipated funding.
Right.
Oh, okay.
It's not a budget.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure this out.
They're showing the current law, under the current law, as it's written, what our total aid is,
Right.
based upon
Okay.
all the various grants.
You have to go way up.
Yeah.
And we have K through 12 in Milton. So I'm looking at Wakefield gets $3,435,000, and they only go K through 8. So those
Well-
numbers are very close, and yet we have to service more.
Yeah, it's just, it's so complex. It's how many kindergartners you have, how many free and reduced lunch, and just a complex series of things that they look at. Is that right, Nate?
Yeah.
We all set?
Yes.
You're still up, or?
Oh, also Nate can tell us, we just received that we have the fresh fruits and vegetables for next year, correct, Nate?
Yes.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yay.
I'm good.
Did you want to give the amount that he let it out?
It was $15,528, I believe. I was gonna report on it next month during the financials. That's why I'm not prepared.
What, $15,568.
68.
Oh,
I'm just trying to give some good news for a change.
I'm trying to spread it out.
Melissa?
and Mr. Carlton is trying to grow some fresh veggies as well in the greenhouse, correct? What would save some money and have an educational purpose?
Yes.
I know he's been really expanding that program.
Well, I did ask Nate a question about this today, is that would the middle school be included? Did you say you were going to check on that for us?
I will check, yes.
Yeah, see
I
if
haven't
it's
had a
through
chance
K
yet.
through 8.
Yeah.
So we may maybe be able to apply.
I don't believe it is, but
That's-
I don't want to say for sure until
Yeah.
I find out.
That I understand, yeah. Anything else, Earl?
Excellent.
Okay, all right. Okay, going to page 8. That's your holiday schedule. We're going to need a motion to approve it.
Make a motion to approve the holiday schedule.
Second it. I have a question.
Yeah.
What is day 61, 261 and day 262? Are those like special holidays that,
I think Nate?
I'll just give free days to everyone.
aren't you nice?
No, it's the year-round employees contracts are based on 260 days.
Oh, okay, all right. So you
And-
just
and
kind of give them.
To be honest, typically this is just informational.
Okay,
The board's never
Got to give it to
motioned
Matt.
or anything.
okay.
Really just informational.
Because I understood July 5th would be really nice, giving them the next day,
Did I
but
put a vote on
it's like April 24th.
Kind of like a
To accept the
consent
holiday
agenda.
schedule.
We don't have
Yeah.
to. Yeah, wait,
that? Take it away from him. We all set?
Take it away?
take it away. Informational.
Okay, I think it's you, Nate, isn't it?
Taken away.
Food service
Food
contract?
service, yep. So, as you know, we put food service out to bid per our contract with Cafe Services and state mandated. And we only had Cafe Services bid on it, which is what we expected. There's just not a lot of competition in New Hampshire.
So what, do you have the figure for next year?
The figure that he started with, again, I know last year we told him to sharpen his pencil, but this year, he started out with a contract of $251,338.
338?
251,338.
No, is that less than last year or more?
That's more than last year.
What was last year? You have it?
Ugh.
That's all right if you don't.
It was roughly 25,000.
More.
This year's more, yeah.
No, this $15,000 wouldn't help us at all, whatever, it just increases the fruits and vegetables for next year.
It's on top of.
It's, actually, I think it's included, so it would help us. 'Cause I think he budgeted, there somewhere, first page, I believe. Yeah, he budgeted 10,500
So we're gonna get 5,000 more.
Yeah.
Where?
Good,
down here.
So,
Oh, okay, got it.
it's good.
so what
Right
we,
off the bat, that helps.
so what'll, and how will that affect that, that'll affect that bottom line number when we sign the contract?
Will it affect the bottom line?
Well, you see, we're getting 5,000, estimated 5,000 more for
It's
the,
just gonna help our bottom line,
okay, all right.
yeah. It won't change the contract, so.
Oh, okay, all right. Anybody, go ahead, Peg.
Of course, Peg. Under the summary, it says projected annual subsidy. Is that what we're going to have to pay? That is
Yep.
an expense for us.
Yeah, so
Thank you.
if you remember the transfer that was added to the budget,
Yes, I certainly do.
that was accidentally omitted. That's where that number would be.
Okay.
Now, was that the $40,000 that was 28 before?
It was the 40,000
Yeah.
from last night, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, see, that's what, there was confusion on that number.
That's where the number comes in.
Okay, all right. We have to pay that.
Yeah, at the end of the year, the revenues have to equal expenses every time.
Okay, we have to write that up. Now, where does that,
That's
we didn't-
projected too, but, you know, it's not necessarily gonna be that much. It's
No.
projected.
It'd be more.
Well, we hope it's less.
Well, I know, but this year I thought it was more.
Yes,
Okay, that's
it was that 40,000.
Yeah, yeah. And we thought it was only gonna be 20-something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
no, we didn't approve that when we, that's an expense, isn't it?
Yes,
We didn't
that's
have
in the
these
operating
numbers.
budget.
Okay, but we didn't approve that particular amount, and that affects the bottom line,
Of the operating budget,
or the adopted budget, or the,
the default budget would be what it was the prior year.
yeah, okay.
And that number is in the operating budget the proposed budget, I should say. It's always in there.
Yeah, but is that amount of $40,000 in there, or is it the 28? See what I'm getting
For
at?
the current year, it's the 40.
The 40, okay.
So, in the proposed budget for next year,
Yeah, go ahead.
for the proposed budget for FY '21, we'll have that number,
The 29?
29,000,
998,
as a transfer, yes.
okay. All right. Anything else?
Makes sense?
Can I just say that I know my kids come home very excited about all the changes that Cafe Services made this year. And, you know, they have Taco Day or something along, you know, and even at both schools, both of them love the food and much better this year. They made some great changes and the kids are very happy. At least my children are very happy with them.
So, now, do you need a vote on this?
Yes, please.
Oh,
No, for that amount?
Yes, please.
51, 338, 2998. I will make a motion to accept the proposed budget for food service, cafe services for next year.
I'll second.
Can you put the amount in there, please?
$251,338
Now I have a question before.
with a
you-
subsidy. Do you want the subsidy in that too?
Is that good, put that in there, so people know we have to pay that?
$29,998
We'll have to pay to
that we
cafe,
have to pay, yes.
cafe services.
That's
Our
fine.
expense.
We don't pay cafe services that. That goes to our 200 fund.
200 fund.
Yeah, our 200 fund is our food service. So that doesn't go to cafe services. That goes to supplement our deficit that we will have in food service.
So we have to pay our food service off every year. Is
Yes.
that right?
Yep.
I don't think people realize, I mean, the general public, I think we might realize that, yeah.
And that number does go down every year. You know, I remember when we were doing it ourselves, it was like 80 grand.
Yeah, 80,000 when I first started,
And then
yeah.
last year, or this current year, they estimated 40. So I mean, it's down to 30. They're getting there.
Yeah, it takes time.
Yeah.
Takes time. We're saving the money. Does anybody have anything else before I call a vote? Any more questions? Peg?
Yes.
Emily?
Aye.
Melissa?
Aye.
Douglas? Yes?
Aye.
Sorry.
Glad I get people.
Yes.
Okay, that takes care of that. All right. I would like to call, if it's okay with my board, have all the administrators come in the one in February and talk to them about,
February?
I'm sorry, July, sorry, about, we're dealing with a default budget, and I think we need to be extremely careful, because we have towns around us who are dealing with a $415,000 deficit in the end of the year, and I feel sad for them, and I don't want that to happen to us. So does the board mind that if I call,
Not at all.
No?
when I mean that, I mean the principals, Tim and Bob Adams, and well, our special ed director probably would be a good idea to bring in also. Okay, so the board has no problem with that.
None. Nope.
Okay, all right, thank you. So I already talked to Earl about it. I had to ask you, but we'll put the word up. Now, I brought up another idea a while back, and I don't know if you all remember or not. I would like to get our state reps in here, and I want to ask them to put a bill into the legislature where we as a school keep our surpluses and not give them to the town. And that would have to be a change in the law, because the law right now states that it has to go back to the town. I think where we're strapped for money, and I think it would help us in our future with we need to get some of our CIPs brought up to date, because we have some big problems coming up. We have a problem coming with the quality air system at the MES. We got a problem coming up on the alarm system that needs to be taken care of, and we need to get 2 engineering studies done I want people to realize, I want in the minutes, so they know about it, that then we're gonna have a repair, and these repairs are gonna be costly. So I'm giving people a heads up. And does the board have a problem with that issue?
No.
Well, I think that's a great idea.
Okay, yep, thank you. Moving on, I'll try to get done as quick as I can. Number 6A, field trip request.
Same as one every year, right?
Yeah.
We skipped the PLE.
What's the PLE?
Paid lunch equity tool.
Oh, I thought sorry, what is that?
That's where we need to discuss lunch prices for next year.
You have to raise them again?
The state says that we should, to stay in line with everyone, raise it 32 cents. But they mandatory, they cap it at 10 cents. So basically, if we did 32 cents, we'd be about par. But they only require that we raise it 10 cents. Does that make sense?
Makes a lot of sense. Peg,
So if we raise it, how is that going to affect?
The sales will go up.
Right.
In theory, we'll have, if we have the same amount of lunches,
Yup.
the revenue will go up, which means
This will go
which means
down.
that will go down, exactly.
Okay. I
Well,
make a motion.
hey, do I have a motion?
For 10 cents, right?
Wait a minute.
10 cents.
You made the motion, Peg?
Yes.
Seconded.
I'll second it.
Go ahead.
Can you be specific, though?
Oh, I'm sorry, 10 cents for,
You want just lunch across the board?
Yes.
That's the minimum we can do,
Just
right?
lunch.
just lunch,
Okay.
yeah.
Is that
That's
what
all
they
I need
need?
to know.
Yeah, not breakfast, just lunch.
Does,
Just lunch.
okay. Now, in
Because I
their
think we
past,
did both last year, so
Yes.
let's just do lunch this year.
in your past experience, has that, when we've done that, has that increased people going on to the need help? Do you know that?
Not off the top of my head, I don't know that, but that's an interesting question, and I'll look into it.
Okay. So I got 10 cent. Peg, you made the motion?
Yes.
Who's the seconded it?
I did.
Melissa. We're gonna raise it 10 cents. Any more discussion or an amendment? We all set?
Aye.
Hi.
Aye.
Aye.
So we raised it 10 cents, just for the
Lunch.
lunch.
All right, thank you.
Yep, sorry. I thought it was both things in one sweep on that other one. Nate. All right, Paul, go ahead, field trip again, Paul.
I was gonna say, this is the same as every year, right? I mean, it's,
Yep.
yeah, it's been going on for years, so I make a motion to
I'll
approve
second
it?
it.
No, we don't need it, we don't give a donation or anything, do we?
Not for this, we do not.
Okay, good.
This is, Sarah Norman does an amazing job with this. And I think that, one of those things that happens at a school that you take for granted that it occurs, but it's an extraordinary trip that she takes the students on. I'd like to thank all the parents and all the people that go on the trip that assist her with it. It's fantastic.
We all set? I need to call a vote. Call a vote. Any more discussion?
Peg,
I'm sorry.
are we all set on the field trip?
Sure. Aye.
We're not voting.
Oh, what are we doing?
There we are.
Can we make sure everybody?
Peg, Emily?
I'm okay.
Emily?
Aye.
Aye.
I didn't think we made a motion.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah, we did.
Oh,
Motion
okay.
and a
I
second.
motioned,
I'm going.
she seconded.
Aye. What? No.
Okay, I would like to skip B because I think you need to hear, there's been a request from the I don't call it a daycare down the street,
Learning center.
Yeah.
to bus our kids all year long, and I think we need to hear some comments from Tim and all the people before we make a decision on this.
Okay.
But what I will do to you, I just want to pass some information on you on page 23. I asked John Sapini to give me a document, and these are the kids. By law, we don't pick up kids within a mile of the school, and that's the law. Okay, right now, these are the amount of kids that walk to school.
So they don't pick mine up.
They don't pick them up. Okay, so have your questions for Tim. And I thought that the young lady was gonna be here, her name's Karen, in charge of the, she didn't show up.
So what they do now is they do a half, they only do during the winter, correct? I'm
Yes.
sorry, I didn't mean to.
Go ahead.
Our child goes to MLC, and we loved it when they walked from school to MLC. We were very sad that they stopped walking, so, like, having them get outside and get that.
Right, I'm just trying to understand, was that, they walk there, and we're trying to,
Well,
no, but they
They
did.
used to walk up, but that means that a staff member has to walk with them, and that makes it harder for them to have coverage for all the kids at MLC, and then coverage for the kids who are walking. So it changes how they can cover all the students, but we personally loved that they walked back in the day. And it's sad that they go anymore.
Okay,
Did they do it all year? Cause when my kids went, they did, well, when my kids all were almost done, they did half, during the winter, they would put them on the bus. And then in the spring, in the
So
fall, spring, they would walk.
we've only been there 1 year, so they started
about the same
busing in
building.
the winter, and then they just carried it on through the rest of the year.
Well,
Milton Learning Center, the
Yeah.
building right at the bottom of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. They have to have
Weird.
a staff member walk with them up.
I think the traffic patterns are gonna play a big role in this as well, whether, you know, for the safety, if we discuss the new traffic patterns too, because if we're having all these new safety concerns. So I don't think we can, like you said, we can't make a decision tonight. I wanna hear what you come up with for, you know, traffic patterns.
she's correct. We'll have the people that are involved with it here so that the board can have all of the facts, but it's great that you gave your input on that because you get some input from somebody who has had a student in there, and then you can take a look at it. And Chair Shute had asked me to ask Principal Safin for this list of students, so this gives it a little background, and before we discuss it on the next time the board meets, just as you said, Melissa, that it'll give us a chance to discuss the whole thing.
so have your questions ready? All right. And that was, her letter's on the back, it's Karen Crew, I'm sorry. That's working. Peg?
I just actually read the email from Karen.
I didn't
And-
until now either.
I know, I was just looking at the front, and for some reason, I thought that they wanted us to provide busing in the summer, and I thought, why are we doing that? But it's not, it's okay. Never mind. I just wanted to make that clear.
I thought that too at first. I'm like,
Thank you. Why? So,
So
okay,
we'll put it back on the agenda and
all right.
just be ready for your questions. If you get any calls, you know what it's about.
Thank you.
The second readings for some policies. And the first one is DAF-1, allowability. Does anybody need a motion in a second? Or do we want to do them all at once?
we can do
All at
business,
once.
all the changes were
Yeah.
taken care of if there were any, right?
Yeah, it should have been.
I'll make a motion to block approve
Okay, let me,
DAF 1 through 10.
let me read them aloud though, okay?
Okay,
DAF-2,
to say that we already just went through these.
yeah, cash management and fund control. All right. DAF-3, procurement. DAF-4, procurement, additional provisions pertinent to food service program. DAF-5, conflict of interest and mandatory disclosure. DAF, inventory and management, equipment and supplies purchased with federal funds. DAF-7, travel reimbursement, federal funds. And DAF-8, accountability and certification. Oh, and several more. DAF-9, time effort pertaining oversight. My tongue tied, my mouth's getting dry. DAF-10, Grant budget reconciliation? That is it. Okay, Paul, you wanna do that again?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to accept all DAF 1 through 10 as written.
From
I'll
page-
second.
Okay.
Do those old peepees.
All right, Paul?
Aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Hi. Hi.
Thank you very much, everybody. Takes care of that. Okay, I think I got something. I put this on as a status
God bless
update,
you.
softball field update,
Oh, is this good? Bless you.
Bless you.
contagious.
It's a cough, sorry.
Oh,
Uh,
we got it.
I talked to Bob, and I think the only problem it's holding us up, and I got, this was your print? Okay. Was there any dimensions or size on the pole going up and down? Or the,
Yeah, he told me 10.5 feet was the height.
what was the size of the diameter of the pipe?
It calls out a size for the columns.
Okay. I think what I'm going to,
The metal I-beams, right? Yeah.
everybody got a copy? Did you wanna,
Yeah.
Got one?
Yeah.
I got an extra on here.
What you can do, just for a second,
Yeah, I'll wait.
is, just so that the audience knows,
Go ahead.
why don't you cite what his role has been in the great work he's done?
Let him, let you speak. Go ahead. Your name and then, oh, my secretary's not here.
Carter Terry, I'm a community, my daughter's kindergartner, was kindergarten, elementary school, soon first grader. And I'm a structural engineer down in Portsmouth, so I volunteered to help design the sport for the new softball field. School.
And we'd like to commend him again for that. It's been extraordinary, and it's so important when people step up. It's easy to say this and that isn't done, and this costs you this and this costs you that, but he stepped up, and if we had gone out to do this, it would have been very expensive, and the other thing is, if we had just put it up there, it would not have been safe for students. It could have been a very sad event.
Because the other day, we got a donation, a small donation from someone, I think, for this project. And I thought other money was being raised for this project also.
Well, I know when I put my sign up for my shop, I didn't take into account seismic loads. I guess I should have consulted him.
Yeah.
Seismic loads, Doug.
Yeah, I was just
I don't know
reading
what you're
that.
talking about.
All right, then, neither do I just kind of.
That's why we have
Beyond my scope.
Come on.
Beyond my scope.
You guys should
Thorough
know what size
plan right
they
here
are.
to get seismic loads on there.
Okay. I would really, like to see this come to fruition.
So what are we waiting on now?
I don't know.
Electrician.
Still?
I have tried following up with Bob. Bob? And he keeps sending an email back. I've sent an email out to this one and that one. And it's as if there is no follow-up to the follow-up.
Why can't we do this portion? At least get the sign planted.
Tammy?
Why do we have to wait for the electrician? Why, I mean, you gotta dig a hole, you dig a hole. Why can't we at least get the footings and the sign put up?
Oh,
And then
never
the
thought of
sign is
that.
there. And then people are like, boy, the scoreboard's not up. Yeah, you know why? Because there's no electricity, that's why.
We get somebody in the back going.
But I mean, at least we can, I mean, if we have the go-ahead, at least we have everything for the sign, right? To put the sign up.
I'm not sure. I can't.
We'd have to buy the posts. I know Andy Rawson had volunteered for the concrete,
Okay.
but he thought it was just, dig a hole, pour some concrete, stick some sticks in it, and put the post up. So I have to send him this because when I started to talk to him about it, and he said, "Oh, it sounds like a truck."
How
So
many-
yeah, I mean, it's going to need a good concrete base.
Then you got reinforced rods in it, is that correct?
Yeah, it's small.
But how many yards of cement we gonna need?
I was just gonna.
Okay, all right.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah, if you can let me know, then I can let him know and
Well, I
send him the plan.
At least get the footings put in so we can mount the
Yeah.
bars.
Yeah.
Get it
and,
moving.
Yep, and Stan Netto said that he would be more than happy to dig the trench for the wiring, so the only thing we really need is an electrician to run the wire and hook the thing up.
Well, we can,
Somewhere between 1.5 and 2 cubic yards.
1.5 to 2?
Yeah, call it 2 just to be.
All right,
cubic yards.
2 cubic yards.
All right, and then-
Okay.
No, you wouldn't have an idea what that cost would be?
I don't really do pricing as part of my job. So
It's not part of, you just, you engineer it,
Yeah, exactly.
and they have to go, it's a good way to do it.
Yeah.
Hand it off.
All right, I will get this off to Andy, and that's a good idea. I mean, I never even thought about that. Thank you, Paul.
That's a good idea.
That's why you're who you are,
Well, at least get the signs up.
and I'm who I am.
We'll work on the electrical.
See if we can try
And I love you for it, Peg.
I love you too.
Okay, enough of this.
For who you are.
Let's move on.
move on. Okay, move on. We all set with this?
Mushy stuff.
I was gonna say that. Thank you. Go ahead.
I had sent this over just for coordination purposes. It still says not for construction on it, but if you do need to pull permits or actually start construction, just let me know, and I can take that off and put my stamp on it and send it over.
Okay.
I think this is it. The design is done. We typically send it out for coordination, make sure everybody's happy before we actually send out stamped plans. So,
Who
just
has
let
to
me
be
know.
happy? Looks good to me.
So that's
I'm happy, that's all that matters.
I guess, no, good job. I'll let you get credit for that.
What happened?
Concrete cost per cubic yard, the average cost is $216.44
For two-
for 2 cubic yards.
$215 and what?
$216.44.
Then you're gonna need the rod and then the bolts.
Right, that's probably the straight up concrete cost. There's
Yeah.
also gonna be excavation costs, the placement costs for the pole for the tar. I kept it as light as I possibly could, but I tried to just do an embedded, what we call an embedded post design, where it's literally just a hole you dump some concrete in, but I think it was gonna have to be 16 feet deep or something like that, so decided that was a good option.
Okay.
That deep, we might be able to strike oil.
That'll solve all our problems.
There was.
Yeah,
Bury some people and what? Pour some
Okay.
concrete over them.
that's okay. Thank you, Connor. We all set with that? Moving on?
Actually, one last thing on that.
Okay.
Sorry. If
That's okay.
any of the bidders do have any questions, feel free to give them my contact info, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Okay, I have your number, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Committee reports? Moving on? Board member reports?
Kudos to the policy committee, I want to say that.
What's that?
Kudos to the policy committee.
They got a lot of work ahead of them.
Well, they got a lot done too, so they're doing a good job so far.
Tonight, when we met, we went over the board member ethics, use of private vehicles to transport students, home education instruction, participation in public schools, instructional resources, and alternative diploma. Are all on our agenda today that we put forth and will be at our next meeting.
Nice.
Very good.
That's it. Okay, I just have a question. Did all of you get the letter that came from the budget committee?
No.
Yes, in our packet at the very end.
Yeah.
Yes,
May not
okay.
be numbered.
No,
don't
it's
think-
not numbered.
No, it looked like this, you might not have it. Everybody
Oh, I
else?
do have it, I do have it.
Okay. I don't know how the board wants to handle this. And we have another subject that somebody wants to talk about in non-public on this issue with this committee. They're asking questions and finding, well, I'm being told that some of these questions have already been answered, okay? And I don't know how to go about it. The request is to have a couple of the members from the budget committee meet with Nate, but I want everybody to realize we're closing our budget right now. Nate's in training. He's extremely busy. That's maybe that's some of the reason he's pulling out his hair. But
Wow.
That's why I
Yep.
shave it.
Oh,
Okay,
wow. You did a lot of pulling this month.
maybe they're good questions, but I haven't really looked at him in depth. I think I can answer the last one for him on the back of the page about the trust fund, and I did talk to Nate about it. And what we said, everything is pending, and they never want to wonder why nothing is actual. Well, the problem is, we can't spend nothing out of those funds until we have a public hearing. We as a board authorize the money to be taken care of. Now, that money that is that's earmarked under pending is for the safety issues that we have coming at the schools. So technically, I can't see where it shouldn't be a public information, because that's wrong. You have to keep that stuff private. And I was talking to Nate, and we agreed, talked about it. Instead of being pending things, maybe we ought to say encumbered, projected, or earmarked. Okay, and maybe they'd understand that. But we cannot spend it until you as a board authorizes. And it will be coming down the road. And one of the questions they asked is why the total amount isn't there. And what Nate has done, he's left the amount that's left in those things, and which is a good idea. It tells us how much money we have left to work in our funds. So just one solution, but if everybody, how does the board want to handle this?
Question.
Go ahead.
So I know July is going to be busy, well, as far as meetings, I know we're going to be on a field trip and everything, but we meet once in August, correct? Can we meet at 5:30 and have the budget committee come in early, and we could, just have a round table with the budget committee before the 6 o'clock meeting, or just so we can meet with them as a group and not just a couple people with Nate?
There are only 2 on the budget committee who really have a lot of questions.
Have them come in.
And
But I think what the problem is, I think it's better that the whole budget committee be there. Maybe these guys are digging. Maybe these other people have the same questions and they're just afraid to ask them. If we expose them all to the questions that they're asking, I think that would morally enlighten them. So I'll do whatever this committee wants to do.
Would that work? Would they come to somebody if we started at 5 and,
I don't think it's going to be enough time.
well, an hour is better than nothing. I don't know why we have to put them with Nate and just have them grilling Nate like a cheese sandwich all day for no reason.
I'm sorry.
I've already
Talking about July.
told you what I would like to do.
You were a member, speak. I don't think I've ever stopped you before. have I?
No, I don't want to speak now.
I'm sorry.
Speak later. Okay,
Well, how do you want to handle the
save for
process?
non-public.
Safe enough.
I think we need to discuss it in non-public and then come up with a process or a
Okay.
procedure or whatever, and then make that public.
Okay. Okay. I was, Emma, Melissa, I'm sorry.
No, I'm trying to be very.
Melissa, don't
non-public.
even.
Okay, well, can't be any.
No, I'm just reading the report, and I just found that having to continuously decipher reports, that's what your job as a budget committee is to decipher reports. So, that being said, I think we should take it to non-public.
Okay, I have no problem with that. Is it?
Yes.
Anybody else? Any other committees? Make sure I've done everything.
Oh, you know what? I actually have a public comment, I think. May I make a public comment?
What's the subject? Is it about?
Math. No. I know, Earl, you got a copy of the letter, but I received a letter from, and I did forward it to the rest of the board, I'm pretty sure, but a letter from an elementary student's parent, really, really praising Melissa Salinger, the second grade teacher,
Yep.
And I just wanted to make sure that that was put out there. The child has some, I don't like school issues. And, you know, Melissa really reached out, kind of brought the child into her fold, went to recitals and all sorts of things. And Mom, I guess it was some kind of a field trip or something, and the kids could leave at noon. And so Mom said, do you want me to pick you up? No, I want to be with Mrs. Salinger. So it's just kind of a nice end of the year. So I wanted to make sure people did know that
Thank you. Anybody else?
happy parent.
Okay.
And I'll just say, there's a lot of happy parents. It was really nice of that parent to write a letter.
Yep.
But I could write the same about my kids' teachers, and
Good.
this is a big transition for our family. And I talk to a lot of parents, and I hear a lot of that. Our teachers are doing a really good job.
Good. It's nice to hear. It is. So thank you.
That's pretty much all I hear.
Yeah. Good. Good. I mean, this just happened to come to me because
Right. And it's
I know
not-
the person. So I taught with the person.
Anybody else?
You're done with that. You're done with that.
Any public comments?
Oh,
Okay, I need a motion to go into,
Make a motion to go into non-public.
I will second that.
okay. That'll be under RSA 91A, 3, 2, A, B, C, I, J, and K.
Elemental.
All men are
Thank
Good
you.
night, everybody.
Have a good one.
Thank you. Thank you.